this is my agenda. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to review the tests that we have in the Django crash course. It turns out that we had a slight glitch, and I believe there's some false positives in there, which makes me glad that we didn't quite get it to print. So I'll, instead of thinking of the fact that's not yet at print being a negative, I'm like, yes, we caught it in time. The one thing about tests you always have to be careful with is the chance for false positives, and we'll go over that. I'll go over that today as I'm fixing it. The second thing is async Django, and it says work on the build process. This is the work on the build process for Write-or-Not, which is a software as a service for writers and publishers that Feldroy is working on, and I'm doing most of the software development right now, and Fabio, who's a team member here at Feldroy, well, he's actually in Brazil, I'm in the US, so he's not quite here, but I mean in the company, our tiny company, he's doing more of the DevOps work, but that's going to merge together soonish. And then of course the Write-or-Not landing page is basically stuff I copied over from Tailwind UI, and I need to make it specific for Write-or-Not. The stretch goal today is to add billing to Write-or-Not so people can sign up, even though it's gonna be alpha. Hey, if you want to sign up and support the project, you want to write books, or you just like what I'm doing, and or if you maybe want to, maybe one of the things that we're doing with the Write-or-Not, it's not just a Markdown editor. It is also as a software as a service. That's the plan, where we'll have a fully powered API. So if you want to build some kind of build process and use Write-or-Not, the Write-or-Not engine, you'll be able to do that. So let's get to it. I'm going to close Keynote here, and so let's okay, and you all can hear me, and I know there's some artifacts here in my blue screen. Let's see how that looks if I overlap it. Okay, yeah, there are some artifacts. I'm gonna keep things kind of out of here, this overlap, just because, actually, I know how to fix that. I can use a chair. And that is a okay, that is still only marginally better. God, there's these artifacts here. So the issue that I get to deal with is that for some reason I have to be connected to the Wi-Fi. I can't be connected. It's right here. Yeah. Okay. Audrey, my wife, is helping me there. Okay, let's get to it. I'm gonna first fix some stuff with Django Crash Course, and let's close a bunch of these. Just don't need them. And I do have Docker and I have Postgres running. That's good. So, okay. So first thing we're getting into is Django Crash coursework, and actually I'll go a little bit here. I have been experimenting with here we go, Django Crash Course Code Workspace. This is, I use VS Code, and this is a VS Code workspace. So what it contains is, let me see, I think I need to get this microphone up a little bit more. Okay, and yes, if you're wondering, I do need to get my I do need to get like a better microphone stand. I have this little thing here which works, but it's not really as good as it could be. Okay, so we're gonna run the test first, and to do that, I think I can do it in here. I have a terminal. And then I think I need to open a new one, and that should, I want to do it within every cheese, and I don't, which Python are we on? Okay, we're not in the right Python, so let's get the terminal going. And actually, I think every cheese is, yeah, that's right. I just put it right in there. Okay, so if I run the test, I think that's the command. We will coverage run -m PyTest. The test should give us a, yeah, so it looks like everything has passed. But if we dig into all the use of, oops, close some of these outstanding files. Wow, I have a lot of files open. Okay. So, you know what? It is kind of confusing to have two text editors. Do you mean are you talking about your microphone is a trash can? That's Pocket Stories. You know, it's kind of confusing having two projects in one text editor. So for me it is. So I'm gonna do have Django Crash Course be one, and then I'll have every cheese be the other one. Okay. And so this will be a little bit more clear. I'm just going to move this all the way over there, out of the way. Okay, so this is Django Crash Course, and then this is every cheese. This is our sample project, and the issue is that rather than do force authenticate or force login, I use these admin users. Just yeah, sure. So Pocket Stories just asked me to bump up the font size. I'm going to do that. How's that? Is that good? Let's increase the size of the text windows. There we go. Awesome. And look at this. I can really see what I'm doing. So I had been using these admin users, but what and actually we did, and there's a better way to do it that is more similar to how a user will be interacting with stuff rather than the end user. I mean, the end user isn't going to be an admin user, so this isn't necessarily the best test. So gonna see if I can find where the so we discovered this in Right or Not last week. Okay, so, and here, no. And let me blow up this text. Okay, so if I go to, I think it was under books. Yeah, it's in books. These are templates. So I want to go up to books, test views. Here we go. So we have, so there it is. So this is what we want to be doing instead of calling, here, I'll show you what we're currently doing and why it's problematic. And for all we know, could be because this isn't the behavior that users will have, it could be generating false positives. So specifically here we pass in a client. This isn't Right or Not. This is our SaaS product that we're working on. And we force the client to log in. We use the particular user in question, and then we can, based off because the client has now been authenticated that way, we can now make requests. So authenticated requests. So here, let's see. So here we have, wonder if there's a way to test it. So here we're passing in a user object, and here we're just making stuff up, which isn't ideal. So let's see what we have for, I think what we can do is, are we importing the user factory? I'm gonna do some line. Let me shrink this down a little bit. I think based off of this, it is, I'm gonna grab, where is, just had it. So this is the example that I'm looking for. Okay. So client and then force login. There's my admin user. So I'm going to change that to client. And not only that, but I'm going to pass in a user. And these variables are PyTest fixtures. We've defined some of them already. I know that if I go to the users app, and if I go to factories, I have a user factory. So I can lean on that to create my, to have a fixture passed in. I can do a local fixture. So we're going to do from every cheese dot users dot tests dot factories import user factory, and then we're just gonna do user equals user factory. Actually doesn't quite work that way because this is a test, so this is a PyTest fixture, so I need to define it as a function, and then we're gonna return the result. Okay, and then I think I also have to do PyTest.fixture. Yep, that's it. So now here I have client, and instead of doing request.user, and I do this right here, what I do is I do client.force login, and of course I forgot what it's supposed to be. So let me let me find it again. So it would be under right or not, books, tests, factories. Actually, no, it's under, that's wrong. It is under test views. Okay, so here we go. So it's client force login. And so I have client.force login. So this is what that is. Let's see, someone, Pradav, I can't say her name. I can figure it out. Hold on. It is Pradaven. Is it meant to be actually said out loud? Anyway, thank you very much for the follow. That's really appreciated. Hey, Joey. Yes, I did start late. I've had to change up my schedule because my we have a 18-month-old, or she's 19-month-old. Our daughter, my wife and I, we both work, and she's also a software engineer, a very, really crazy good one. And we work a lot together. And we decided to switch. So she now works in the morning, I work in the afternoons, and it's just to make things work. So yes, Joey, we started late. Sorry about that. There's no way in Twitch, as far as I know, to let people know that the schedule has changed, which is kind of frustrating. But actually, I'm not going to get hung up about it. I'm just going to have some fun coding. So here I am now authenticated, and here I passed in RF, which is the request factory. I think I can get rid of this, and I can just do client. That is the request. I don't need to add an authenticated user. So this is actually much simpler as far as I can tell. And I do think that I like it. But actually what's even better is looking at here under write or not, writing tests this way is even better because it is, actually this is using the URL mechanism. So that's the downside to this, is that I we're adding a little bit more stuff. We're not using request factories. We're using but you know what we can do? Let me think. If I do, because I think I'm gonna have to switch to using this, because see how we have here, we're using request factory, and we for gets and for unauthenticated things, it's really easy. I wonder, so rather than rewrite this, I wonder if what I can do is, so if I use, you can't really use a request factory with the client. Like I couldn't pass in RF and then the client, because there's no way, as far as I can tell, to, actually maybe there is. Maybe I can do RF where I get, but wait, I'm already using the URL, so I don't see why I'm complaining. There's no reason for me to complain. So this is already, this actually here, I don't need to do this. This right here is, oops, I just broke that. Yeah, like I said, I need a better mic setup, just because the books that I have my mic on are too big. Actually, this is my headphones case, and if I put my headphones in it. Hey, how's it going, Dota? Oh, so Pocket Stories, by moving it later, it seems like, and also I'm noticing that I have a more concurrent viewers than I have before, so I'm gonna take that as a positive. All right, let's see. This actually is better, because see, I have, what I was doing before is I had multiple books that my that it was that we were dealing with, and so it's blocking my hands to the keyboard, so that's been a challenge. Okay, so I think what I can do is and I can get rid of this. So here we force the client, make the client authenticate, then use a request, use a client to make the request. All right, and let's break this down a little bit. You might say, well, Danny, why are you doing this? What you're about to do? Remember, this is actually for the Django crash course. I might put that inside there, but for beginners, I like to try to comment when I'm doing work showing for beginners. I like to show all the, comment each and every action. And I think we've all been there where, let's see. Aha, woohoo. Oh, yes, and that worked. So now I should be able to run the test, and that is coverage run -m test. That's it. Oops, that is not what I wanted. I can't remember how we call that test. So coverage, aha. So if I come over here, coverage run, oh, I forgot when I did this before. I'm not sure what I did wrong. Coverage run and PyTest. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it worked that time. So it passed. So that's great. I don't know what this is yet. I'll have to figure that out. And now if I do coverage HTML, Okay, I'm just blowing this up so everyone can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Yes, thank you for supporting me, Dota. Yes, yeah, maybe I should. Maybe this is a habit that I should have, is each line broken up into its own thing rather than taking shortcuts that I understand but other people don't, because you only write code once but you read it a million times. Hey, Finite Singularity, how's it going? Did yourself? Good to see you. Good to see you both. So how's Dota? How's that CI/CD stuff going? Okay, so this is great because this, if I, let's pull up the, let's see what it said before. Okay, so this is what we had before for the test good cheese view. This is what's currently in the book. And then this is what we have now. And let's go over it piece by piece and why this is really kind of awesome when you look at it. So first of all is we are using the Django request factory and an admin user. We are using request factory to get the request. This is fine. Oh, congratulations, Dota. Everyone, let's cheer Dota for getting his CI/CD working. That stuff can drive you crazy, and you're using AWS code pipeline. I respect that because that is a lot of work. I know if Fabio's here, yeah, AWS code pipeline is, you know, it makes easy stuff hard. So wow, with 2 steps and Elastic well, they have 2 products, I think, called Beanstalk. So it could be either one, but in any case, like, kudos to you. I'm so happy. At some point, yeah, I was thinking, wow, maybe I could do a live stream of getting AWS code pipeline working. Like, no, I really, I can't do that. My nerves can't handle that amount of stress. Okay, so here, this isn't bad, but this is, because this is not how people are usually added as an authenticated user to a request. Typically, there is a login process, and while this is forcing it, it is still going through the login process rather than just attaching an admin user. Speaking of which, this user right here, by not being an admin user, means that we're not getting a false positive, because typically people with admin rights have a lot more rights. So how would we test a regular user creating a cheese? Remember, there's a cheese create view. So I am yeah, I am really glad that hold on, trying to get this a little bit higher. Okay. So this is a good sign. We don't have to get rid of the request factory stuff. I think the request factory is good to have. I just think that this is a better approach for authenticated users. Some other things that we do is, here we actually have this reverse is mixed in there, and with this we now specify the user and we get the formal response, and we check the response code. So we could, you know, this is just a get on the view. Hey, Jacob, how's it going? I swear, Jacob, I think I've seen your username before. So, oh, and you follow me. Thank you so much. And thank you also, Pocket Stories, for following me. I appreciate that. Oh no, Joey, do you know what that means? I think, oh no, this is like really bad news, everyone. Oh no. Hold on. I'm gonna pull in a browser and I'm gonna pull up my Twitch stream. This is like seriously bad news for me. So when I look at this, how do I, let me do Twitch stream manager, because I think this puts me over 250 followers. Oh no, Okay, everyone, you just put me over 250 followers, and I thought I was being witty and funny, and I said if I reach 250 Twitch followers, that I would do a dance, and then Joey said, "Oh no, you have to do a zombie jujitsu move because." So Joey and I know each other through Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and now he he's actually my big brother in jiu-jitsu. So that's Matharoni, who's here in the channel, and now I will have to record some kind of zombie jiu-jitsu move. Oh, no, you don't cost me anything when you subscribe. If you heart, so Twitch is really confusing with this. Pocket Story said, I unscrubbed because I thought I cost you dollars. No, the way Twitch works is the heart is a follow. I know it doesn't say it, but that's what it is. And if you subscribe, that means you're paying me. I get money. I get a fraction of $4.99 a month, although there's ways that you can subscribe for free. I don't understand all the features. Okay, so Joey is saying, that's Matharoni says, get my daughter to take me down. She's 18 months old. How's she going to take me down? I'll see what I can do. I also have a jiu-jitsu dummy, so maybe I'll figure something out. So I'll post that in my next stream. I'm not set up at the moment to do that. Okay, and then Jacob, you asked for help with a Django code. If you can paste that, if you can put that in a paste bin like GitHub's Gist or something like that, then we can look at it together as a family, all of us. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna paste this from here to there. Okay, so I just moved it from the Every Cheese project to Django Crash Course, and and we're not quite done. The top of, then we add this view, this test. Okay, so before we get any further, before I forget, we do need to add so Jacob, if you could assemble that, I'm here for another 3.5 hours, so we can certainly take a bit of a break, and hopefully we can help you. I can't make promises, and I'm not gonna do illegal stuff, although I can't imagine that you post anything like that. But yeah. Okay, so question is have we defined fixtures yet before chapter 53? No, we haven't. So okay, so writing our second fixture. Okay, so I'm going to add this to the top of testviews.py, and underneath the line that says import PyTest. Okay. Import PyTest. See, okay, there we go. So, and then if we go back to write our first fixture, and I think that is a PyTest first fixture, rather than write user equals user factory. We're going to write test fixture. It's quite easy to do. Just put this underneath the imports inside of test inside of and then here we're gonna do that's it. And then write the test view. It's time to write our view. Add the following to the code, to the bottom of the test module. Okay. All right. So why am I getting that funny thing? All right. If you happen to hear a baby crying in the background, that's my daughter. Okay. So this looks good. So we have them do the import. We write the fixture. Now what I'm gonna do really quick is I'm going to select interpreter. We need DCC, that is Django Crash Course, and I think I need to create a new terminal so it instantiates. Okay, good. And then from here, I'm going to render the book. Oh, actually, I'm not quite done. We're going to need to instantiate. Okay, perfect. So we just change this text. So excellent. And let's just make sure. I'm going to get to you in a second, Jacob. Okay, and all right, excellent. So I think we're good. I think we can run the tests and it'll be pretty close. And this is going to run for a little bit. And since that is going to be running, I'm going to dig into let's dig into what Jacob has it. So Joey, I'm not sure what a recovering side roll is. You'd have to let me see. And of course the roles that I learned ages ago are different than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I did a lot of striking in my days when I was younger. So yeah, you'd have to show me. All right, let's dig into what Jacob wants me to look at. So he's saying, I'm gonna see if I can increase the size of this. So one of the problems that I deal with is that the Streamlabs makes it hard to read what the ongoing chat stream is. So I'm going to see if I can fix that really quick so I can see what everyone's talking about a little bit better. Okay, gonna excellent. And now okay. Yeah, that would be good, Jacob. All right, so Jacob says it's my begin with Django, and it may be simple problem because he wants this code and he's linking to the paste bin. And let's bring it over here, and just so you know, it's building the book right now, and wants to render the images to PDF as well as normal text, but currently it just works with plain text. I've checked Stack Overflow for some help, but found this, but I don't understand how should I modify my code. And so let's grab also the Stack Overflow thing. So let's take a quick look at what he's doing while my stuff is compiling. So he's got this view, and it only works with plain text. Okay, so he's using PISA. I'm not too familiar with that. When I did PDF in Python, it tended to be more. Actually, I have done some PDF stuff with Python recently, but not XML to PDF. Let's see. So he returns. So if there's not an error, he returns HTTP response. He specifies a content type. That's fine. Then, so which which view is blowing up? Because it looks like you're doing things differently. You have a render to PDF. Oh, I see. This isn't a class. This is not a function-based view. It's the render function. You even say it. That is your data that you're getting from JSON. So you're mocking up your data. Good on the mock. So did you see that someone responded to you, Jacob? Is this right? It's unfortunate that he's using camel case. Huh. Oh, so he's literally copying it from there. So it's not this guy who did it that way. He's just basically copy pasting. Hence why he's showing the reference. He's great that he did attribution. Huh. So you have to. Are you using this link callback? Because a link refers to not HTML links, but a and then where exactly is he? Oh, I see. So inside the render PDF view, there's a link callback. I would just use LaTeX to figure this out, but because that way I'm getting a bit closer to source, but I'm just like that. Although I've done a bit of. Jacob, have you tried that solution that he's done? I mean, just because someone marked it as being the solution doesn't mean that you can get it working. When someone else, no need to set the fetch responses, it works fine for me. So this guy, Robert, and that's at 4:43, so that's just a couple minutes ago. He might be in this channel. Yeah, I would try. It looks like if I didn't know the answer, because I'm not an expert on XML to PDF, then this guy referred to the docs and he managed to get it working. Yeah, if you could try that and let us try what they did, and maybe this guy fixed a glitch in the code and it's working. If you could do that and let us know. Let's see what the in the meantime, let's see what the book looks like. We're gonna open releases, latest .pdf. We're gonna go to chapter 53. Oh, yeah, I have to fix the cover because Audrey gave us the new cover for Django Crash Course. And let's see, so it's like 53. Here we go. So here we are. Oh, you know what we should do? Because we have all these imports, rather than have. Actually, this is fine. It says test cheese list view, cheese detail view, a cheese create test. Underneath a line that says, is it just me or is that not code highlighting the imports? Or is that just how our book looks? Oh wow, our code highlighting does not colorize the imports. That's wow, how did I not see that before? Well, that's something that we have to fix. Okay. And then this looks good. Awesome. Okay, so we have fixed that. Let's update the change log. This is going nice and fast. And today is, I'll send out an import tonight, or update tonight. And then for those of you who are into Two Scoops of Django, yeah, we're trying to get out an update ASAP. Updated the cheese create test to use a regular user and client dot force login in chapter 53. The fixture in the PyTest fixture in is now the second fixture in chapter 54. There we go. All right, so my streaming froze. Is it is my streaming frozen? Hold on, let me check. Gonna look. Thank you for letting me know. Hey, if I freeze up, like, let me know. And it's trying to load. Okay, I am not seeing myself. This is not good. Am I frozen? Is my stream frozen? Yeah, let me know, is my stream frozen, because I am not seeing anything. Stream. Let's see if I can show my player. Oh no. I think is my stream frozen? If anyone can let me know. So Pocket Stories, does that mean yes, it's frozen, or something else? Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop and restart the stream just to be sure. Let's see if I'm not getting any notifications, and I can now, and now I'm back. Okay, good. And I can see myself now. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you are watching this after the recorded back, welcome to and you haven't watched a live stream before, welcome to the world of streaming. Sometimes things just freeze back. Yeah, Jacob, let us know if you have a solution. I think, if someone else answered it, that's great. I wish I had been the person to do it, but I'll take whatever we can get. Oh, you got it. Okay. So let me just try something real quick. Gonna hide the player. Okay. I'm just checking a few things right now. Okay, so it looks like, all right, it's definitely working. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that yeah, some of the okay. All right, let's get to work. Let's get back to work. So we updated the changelog. Let's look for admin any other instances of admin user in our code. I can type, really I can. Okay, so it looks like here we have create cheese form valid, so we have several more usages of this that we have to clean up. Hey, Pocket Stories, thank you so much for visiting. I will be back on same time on Friday. And of course, periodically I'll just stream just because I want to figure something out. And I might as well, unless it's like, yeah, I mean, pretty much everything that's code related, I'm going to be streaming. Okay, so here what I need to do is I need to pass in the client and the user. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do URL equals, first we're going to do client.forceLogin. And we're going to put in the user, because now I know how to do this. I can follow this as a pattern. And then what I can do is, how do we get this? So that contains cheese data. Where is create cheese data? Well, we'll figure it out. So now we're going to do response equals client.get. And here, first we're going to specify the URL. So the URL is going to be, we already have the URL. It's down here. And we're going to do client.post, pass in the URL and the form data. And then I think I can just literally, let's comment this out. And so what we're doing here is this, we're gonna, first we authenticate the user. That's what this does. And then we can get rid of this RF. We're not using that. And then from here, we put together our form data. We get the URL. We post. This is like you're posting a form, posting a form. And we pass in the URL, the form data, and then based off of this, we can check that we have passkey, sir. Hey, Vice Joseph. Thank you. It's so good to have you. I do appreciate it. Gonna make sure okay, good. So yeah, if you haven't, I'm still new to this, so please bear with me. Pasky Sir is this amazing cheese from Croatia. If there's any Croatians who are listening now or when they watch or record this stuff, guys, Pasky Sir is divine. It is something that I really miss about Croatia. The reason why you guys won that cheese championship back in the day, I guess it was like 10 years ago, is because this cheese is incredible. Pasky Sir tastes a little bit like Parmesan, but it's a different cheese, and I don't want to insult any of my Italian friends. I love you guys and women, but Pasky Sir is kind of like Parmesan, like the best quality Parmesan with a twist. And it's just a really unique and distinctive cheese, and yet it has a lot of familiar tastes. Yes. Well, if you're listening to my live stream, you're gonna learn a lot about cheese, and you're gonna learn a lot about ice cream. That's just who I am. If you don't like it, that's just too bad. Okay, so I think this test should work. Gonna run it. I broke something. So name error. So admin user is not defined because see how we have this admin user? It should be this. I don't, it's when you have tasks, like they can be very, very cathartic and fun to do. And this is a good example of it. So now now that we have test cheese create form valid, we're gonna look this up. Oh, look at that. And so we're just going to get rid of the commented out stuff. And so this should actually force authenticate the user. There we go. Isn't that nice? Oh, look at that. We'll get rid of that carriage return. Okay, so there's that. Now test cheese create correct title. This, I guess, is not sure the purpose of this. Okay. Where is this one coming from? Oh, and cheese create task to use a regular because we have more than one task. So now we're doing cheese update view, which I think is chapter 56. And let's first correct this. So we're going to change this to client and user. We're going to do client.force login. What's really fun about this is, I've done a lot of PyTests and I've used client, and when we were updating this for more modern Django, and we're also switching from unit test to PyTest, we got the, oops, I'm modifying the wrong one. Let's do this one first. Okay, so we're going to update this test first. But it was nice to relearn it, and because I've used PyTest, but it wasn't in the book, and it'd been, oh my god, it'd been like a year since I'd last touched PyTest. So a lot of stuff that when we were doing, and Audrey too, when we were updating it, we just weren't. Yeah, there were some things that we didn't remember at the time. So one of the nice things about doing Right or Not, because it's an actual real project, is that it forced us to relearn some things that help us improve the book quite a lot. So now we can do client.get, and we have, this is going to be the response. Look how much smaller this view is. We're actually shrinking the size of these views, which is nice. Oh, I'm going to. And you know what I'm going to do? Let's have we're going to, the user call the cheese add view, confirm that add cheese is in the rendered HTML. Okay, much better. Look at that. So yes, RF is with one of the neat features of PyTest is you can pass in objects or fixtures. So this would be the Django test client. RF is request factory, and user is a Django user, and the user is defined up here, and it's calling the user fixer. So it's this neat little pattern that's really, really useful. And when you think about it, it's a simple, these are pretty straightforward decorators, the PyTest fixtures are. Okay, so that's good. let's see, we're going to add this to our changelog. Did I miss a changelog? Yes. Refactor the refactor in chapter 56. Okay, and now let's look for another admin user. Aha, we're getting rid of the admin users just because it's kind of cheaty. So let's do it. User. So we get the URL. Here is, and we can get rid of most of this. So, and this is going to be, oh, that's right. This is, I forget why we called it this way. This is kind of like obtuse. And if we can get away with not having to, oh, you know why I did this is because this is a callable object and I'd have to put in request slug equals blah. And when you're writing a book, screen real estate is really tricky, like how you write stuff out. Fabio, Luz FCB, who's here, knows what I'm talking about, that it's always a challenge to handle these. You sometimes have to really compress stuff. So let's fix this one. So we're gonna go get the get the URL, authenticate the user, client dot force login equals user, and then we're gonna if we look at chapter 56, oops, URL, we're gonna even improve this more, create the URL, URL equals. So we have the URL, and now we're gonna do client.get, and we have this slug, so we don't even need to, this is the response. Make a request for our new cheese. Make a fetch the get request for our new cheese, and we can get rid of all of this, clean up this, and let's see. So it's if we pull up this, you can see that it's less lines of code and it's more clear. NSA. Hi, Glinka, too. So Mrs. Q, no, not NSA. That's a national security agency. I've never worked for a security agency. Who I worked for was NASA, and I think, please tell me that's what I have in my, and NASA is the National Aeronautics Space Administration. Let me just make sure that what I posted for this video is correct. Ex-NASA coder. Yeah, I'm not an NSA coder. I'm a NASA coder. So, but you're kidding. So, no, but I've talked. I'm not a rocket scientist. I've never been, but I've talked to rocket scientists, and I've talked to astronauts. Astronauts are awesome. Okay, so we have tests, good cheese, update view. So let's bring this over. Oh, this is so much better. I'm much happier with this. Let's hold on. Let's a book down. I'm gonna decrease the size this just a little bit so I can find stuff a little bit faster because I have a lot of files open. I do, but I have two instances of it VS Code. So Mrs. Q is asking, how do I navigate files in VS Code with the keyboard? So you mean like this? That is Apple, the Apple key, Shift, and then left bracket, right bracket. My challenge is I actually have two VS Code windows open, so it's a little bit more complicated for me. Okay, let's do the next one, and let's figure out, this is also going to be in 56. Okay. Oh, and I haven't tested things yet. So we're going to do client, user, and cheese. So we're going to make a request for our new cheese. There's the form data, the URL. I'm going to do, let's authenticate. We'll do some nice copy paste coding. Copy pasta, as Kevin, an old coworker of mine, someone I really respect, Kevin Stone. He's like a bigwig at Facebook now. He was awesome. He's someone who I didn't, when I worked with him, I didn't get to do enough with him. I thought I was coming onto this job, and I thought that we'd be working as a team to overcome some challenges, but unfortunately, that's not quite how the job worked out. We each had our own project, and we were islands. So, all right. So we have this, and that happens sometimes. I mean, it was just the nature of the projects, and we are a team of all senior engineers. Oh, so Control Command P. Let's see, Control Command P. So I do so when I'm looking for file, I do Apple T, and then I don't know why. Like, I have no idea why does it start with this pound sign, because it says no file starts with a pound, so I have to get rid of that pound. So if anyone knows why in VS Code, if I do Apple T, it starts with a pound sign, like, drives me nuts. If anyone knows the answer to that, I'd be delighted to know. So all right, so make a request for our new user, check that the cheese has been changed. Okay, so this should work. Okay, and now we're gonna find the test cheese update code. And this is just a slightly easier to read test. Okay, all right. And I'm gonna run the tests. I think I ran that. Let's see if I still have any more admin user. No, I don't. Okay, and now let's just make sure we don't have any more admin users here. Aha, here we go. In the test, the sub user, so you can, whoops, that, trying to figure out, it is Alt-Z. Okay, so we have to change some of the description in chapter 53. In the test, the user fixture provides provides a user. All right, you need to first set up a user. The user provides that user. Okay, let's look for more admin user. Okay, we are using the RF. We are still using RF in places. It is good to know both. The reason is that Request Factory doesn't call your middleware typically. So it is a good, what that means is your tests are more unity. They're more atomic. That means that you're not testing whether or not middleware works. You're testing just the purity of the view. Whereas when I'm using client, which you can see down here, it's bringing in all the middleware stack, and that actually is one of the things that can slow Django down significantly, as it's hitting every request. In which case, so this is less atomic. It is testing views and middleware. So that's why, you know, there are times it's good to know both request factory, the RF fixture, or the client fixture that you're seeing here. Okay, so the important thing though is that we are not, hold on. I still have so I thought I updated this. Whew. Okay. And then, and then chat. Oh, you know why? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed because I was, and see here what I did. It's kind of funny. I didn't update. There we go. I didn't update in Django Crash Course the book. So first let's run our tests again, and then we're also going to make the PDF. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I'll refactor multiple tests of update views in chapter 56. And now it's building. Okay. And once this works, I'm going to commit this, and we are going to then go to what am I thinking of? Working on right or not. So, and this is building. Okay. So this is working. We're going to make sure we didn't drop, this is what I should have checked already, that we didn't drop test coverage. Open HTML cov index, because that would be really embarrassing. I'm going to bring this template over to you. We're still at 100% test coverage in the book, in the render project. I'm going to commit what we have. Refactoring of test cheese tests of cheese views. Okay, so that's being updated. Give us a minute. The book's still rendering. And while that's happening, I'm going to, where's my shell? I'm not frozen, am I? Let me just make sure that I'm not frozen, since it already happened once and that was embarrassing. So Twitch. Okay, I'm good. I'm not frozen. All right. Just gonna minimize. Oops, no, I don't want to minimize, because this is eating up some of my bandwidth. Okay, good. All right. So we have the latest, and we're at 303 pages. Let's check the changelog. Oh, the changelog. That's right. I took the changelog out, so it's not even going to show up there. Oh yeah, Maximilian, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Let me sorry about that. I should have that wasn't, yeah, normally I try to have something else there. I just didn't think about where my real estate was going. Thank you so much. I am still getting used to streaming, so I didn't think about the ramifications for those people watching the later recorded stream. Much appreciated. Okay, let's now that we've done this and everything is working, we're going to, okay, I'm gonna commit this. Okay, see what I have that are difference. Okay, so I think we're good. Refactor to not use admin user, but rather the client and user fixture combination. Whoops, hit pull. For me, it kind of depends on what I'm doing. Oh, look at that. I don't understand. This is, there's a 23rd. Windows use, oh, I see. So I'm going to accept both changes. And then, wow. So I knew Fabio, who also works with me at Feldroy, is been working on the Windows installation material, and he is clearly been very busy. Thank you, Fabio. That's Luz FCB if he's in the channel. So that's even better. All right, so git add changelog. Merge. I'm just gonna have a simple message. Because after this, I'm gonna get to development, software development. Well, this is software development, but you know what I mean. I tend to watch Scream on full, like kind of, I just put it in one of my windows on my monitor, and that's what I do. And I wish I had a chance to watch streams more. Being a parent keeps you busy. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close some windows, or we're gonna start over because we're getting to, you don't need to see what my documents are. So, and the project we're getting to is this one, right or not Django. Okay, and let's open up a terminal. It's this, I think. It's this one. Oh, I'm already there. Oh, shows what I know. Okay, so did not start the shell, so I'm gonna let's see, I think I can do Command Shift P, and then I'm looking for, oh, select interpreter, right or not. Now if I create a new terminal, I should learn that command, shouldn't I? Okay, so I have that, and now if I do manage.run server, because I already have a browser running, oh, I need to apply migration. And I want to see if, oh, you know what I wanted to do at some point, and I didn't put on the agenda, was, what am I thinking of? It was, figure out how to use GitHub Actions, because I haven't had a chance to try out GitHub Actions. So this is our ugly placeholder page, and this is the Write or Not project. So let's get to work now. Of course, the fun of it is that looking at this, the text, the stream chat is going over, the white letters are going over the white background, and I don't have a really good fix for that. I could shrink it, but then people might not be able to see the chat window. Any suggestions on that? I'd love to hear. Can I narrow this? No, this is I guess it is what it is. I'd be, if anyone has examples of a better way to do it, that'd be great. Okay, and this has tests too, as you can see. So there's, let me see, I need to revisit. I think what I wanted to do was, there's two things I want to do. One is there's a build process for this. So I was going to polish that a bit. And also there was the landing page for this. This is what I have in development. I'll show you what I have. This is the old version of the site that we're not going to be using. This is what we have. And while I don't want to do this per se, this looks a lot better than what I currently have. So let's first clean this up a bit. This shouldn't take too long, and then we'll get into, and this is using Tailwind. So for those of you who haven't seen Tailwind, you're gonna get to see what Tailwind's like. So I have a landing page. Let me blow this up for you. Is that good enough? Can you see? Let me know if it's too big or too small. See if I can shrink this. I don't want to do. Okay, so that. Yeah. Oh, excellent. So Glinkus, they built a marketing website with Tailwind at work. I am so happy with Tailwind. Oh, you know what else I should have put on the agenda was switching to using Webpack with this. Well, I'll do that on Friday. Okay, so we have data to enrich our online business. And what we currently have is Write or Not with a web-based Markdown editor for writing books, and which isn't really what we're going to be building with it. So where is searching? You know what? This is probably data to. There we go. So we have data to enrich our online business, and we're going to instead do Write or Not, and then our current text is a web-based we'll just stick this in for now, and then we'll iterate, because this is also a software as a service. Ooh, that's not gonna work. How about a tool for writing books? There we go. Or a tool for creating, because and then Write or Not is more than just a Markdown editor. It renders books in all the formats that authors need, and that's PDF, EPUB, Mobi, Doc, and Word. Word, EPUB, Mobi, and HTML. Okay. Yeah, I am so pleased with Tailwind. For me, it just does exactly what I want it to do. It's not semantic UI, but semantic UI isn't viable in today's Webpack driven world. So even if you're not doing a single page app, Webpack is just, Webpack and competitors are the way of the future, and semantic UI's hard reliance on jQuery. I don't get me wrong, jQuery has been awesome. It's just the world's moved on, and so all right, so get started. We've got that. Awesome. So we can have a sign up and a live demo. Oh, I don't want to do a live demo. Not yet. No live demos for us. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do login. Oh, and we're apparently, according to this, it's 2 words. So we're gonna, there we go. So this way, one of the things I always find frustrating is you purchase a service site, right? And you start using it, and then when you need to go back there after a few weeks or days or months, and you go to the home page and authentication isn't obviously there. And it's this awful frustrating usability factor. So yes, I do want to put this right there. Let's see what else I'm gonna do. There's this logo, which I'm gonna grab. And the logo. Hey, is Uma asleep? Okay. Yeah, my daughter fell asleep. So I'm actually surprised. I thought she'd want to like guest star. She's found that when she sees Daddy staring at the screen, she wants to join in on the fun. Okay, so I know a better way to do this, because copy link address, and then I'm going to open up another terminal. I should memorize that command, and then make sure that y'all can see this. CD media. Oops, that didn't help. CD right or not static. Okay, so we have images. Okay, so you can go there with wget, and I'm gonna, I want to copy image address. All right. Congratulations, Dota. I know that was so much work, and getting the SSL. Whew, I'm impressed that you're getting it done during this stream, because you started with this stream. So much applause to you. Congratulations. Let's see. And awesome. I'm very happy for you. Oh, I'm gonna stretch. Oh no, I lost my arms. Okay. So I have the logo, and let's see if I can let's add the logo to this. So if we look here, there is a logo, images, logo, and in our case we have, oh, okay, so they create a directory called image logos. So we'll do that. That's a good pattern to have. Oh, I even have that. Wait, what do I have in my logo directory? What is logos? Oh, so it is a directory of stuff. Oh, shows what I know. Okay, so I can just grab one of these then. I didn't need to fetch that other one. Might help if I knew my own file system. And yeah, I'm about to replace this with static, a proper Django tag. But let's just see how this looks. Oh, that didn't like that at all. Let's get that into place. I can't remember how to call static files. Oh yeah, that's right. We do it like this. Oh, okay. Let's see. Logo. All right. Yeah, straight now. There we go. Oh, it's a little bit big. But we'll just leave it be for now. I just was hoping we get like, because if I look at this, let's see, open image in new tab. What do we have? So it's just this little thing. That's what I really, really want there, I think. We'll iterate over this. A tool for creating books. And in fact, it makes me wonder if, okay, so we can do home, and now this just returns back home. All right. So now what we're gonna do is, didn't I write a big text thing? I did. Oh. Perfect. And then we're gonna add in get started and authenticate. So get started, I think it's URL accounts register. And this is using Django all auth. No reverse match. Well, I knew the answer to that. I'm gonna look it up and see what I implemented with cookie cutter Django. Yeah, the base templates, that's my work. So Glinkis, I'll give you an answer in just a minute once I figure this out. Oh, account sign up. Oh, that's right. They're not using namespaces. And then login is, we're just gonna grab that. Awesome. So now if you do that, oh, because I'm already authenticated. Excellent. So either way, it takes me to the home page. This takes me here. All right. So Glinkis2 asks if it's mostly static pages, have I considered using something like Gatsby? Absolutely, I have. In fact, this current version that you're looking at is, oh, actually it isn't. Well, what this represents, if we had it like available for you to authenticate and look at. Oh, a branch just fell from a tree outside my house. So yeah, we've done a lot of static page work. So previously it was a static page. This right now is a static page running under Semantic. With Semantic UI as the library. And then the app itself currently is on AppSync, which is a AWS product. But recently, and I've done a lot of single page app work, but recently I've been intrigued by this whole idea of returning back to server-side rendering. And the person who's been leading that is David Hannemeyer Henson, the founder of Rails, for the hey.com project. It's just server-side rendered HTML. But it's not what you think it is. It isn't old school. Specifically, when you change the UI, it doesn't necessarily load the whole page. Sometimes it does. And so what it does is it fetches rendered HTML. So there's no JSON processing. And then result is that the JavaScript load on the front end is tiny, which means that for users, the experience is very snappy and fast. It's kind of and then the snippets of HTML that they're pushing up are compacted and optimized. But still, it's HTML, so your browser is just going to handle it fast. So it's just a different approach. And Write or Not is my chance to experiment with doing things in a new way, and that's part of the fun of this. I don't need this. I'm just gonna this is some old code that I meant to delete a while ago. Okay, so this is, I thought that it was gonna look like that. That's fine. I actually like it both ways. And the copy is primitive, but we'll work with that. Okay, I'm gonna log out real quick. I need to fix those pages. That's something else I'll do. Oh no, I can't remember what my username and password is. Oh no. Let me, so Glinkus is asking if I have a link to this. Let me server side rendering. Oh wow, so he really has an issue with it. So there's a number of articles about it, it looks like. Oh wow, that's let me, it says it's not secure. So you can take a look at this link. It's on signal versus noise, and he's got some tools that he's using, and stuff like caching. There's some cache tricks that I've been exploring over the years that can really optimize things. They have this caching pattern in Rails that's commonly used, and I've used it a lot. Oh look, here we go. Here's another thing that where he talks about it. What's fun is that I'm just completely blanking on where I was going with this. Oh, so they have this thing called Russian doll caching in Rails that's very popular, and it's a way for them to optimize sites. And I've actually followed similar patterns in Django. I think we even discuss it in Two Scoops of Django. Be surprised if we didn't. I'll just reset my password. Oops. Let's try Daniel at Feldroy. I need to really clean that up. Okay, so we're going to go back here, and there's my password reset. And my username is Daniel. That might be part of the problem. Okay, so Daniel, and then, oops. So let me just put in. Okay, now I should be able to log in, but it's not important at the moment. I'll fix that up. So transactions, we're going to do, let's see what we have currently. I'm going to close some of these things. So we have for writers by writers. Let's look at Tailwind UI. So we have hero sections, which is what I was working on, testimonials, FAQ, newsletter, blog, contact footers. What is? Nope. Feature sections. Oh yes, this is what we have. Okay. I think actually like this better as a feature section. Did this ask for code? No code. Perfect. So What? I thought I made that change. A better way to send money. I bet it's in the mobile view. No. Oh, that's that's really funny. I was looking at it from the okay. There we go. So we have we look at the features for writers by writers. For writers by writers. Let's see how this looks. And we can, I think we can just all right. Excellent. That looks great, don't you think? Right. Let's do the next one. So this isn't going to take too much time at all. But what'll be nice is once I get registration and stuff like that, we can we can get a little bit fancier. So feel confident about the safety of your work. Feel confident safety of your work. Hold on, and then we're gonna do one more end to end encryption coming soon. That's right, we're gonna have end-to-end encryption on this. Okay, so we have people feeling safe about their work, and I guess we'll need to change these icons, but again, we're gonna do each thing in its own. Markdown editing for faster writing. And do we have anything? Markdown, Markdown, Google Docs, or Markdowns. Well, actually, we're gonna leave this Markdown editing for faster writing. If we return back, and finally, coming soon, Google Docs and hosting Markdown on GitHub. So what'll be neat about this is you won't just have to use our Markdown interface if you want to write it in Google Docs, and that way it's easy to get. I mean, we may implement this as well, but you'll be able to write concurrently with other people in your who you've invited to your book or books. And also, if you want to write on GitHub, so you can write locally and then push to GitHub, and then Write or Not will consume it, and then you can render the book. That is another thing that we'll be providing. So what's another feature that we have? Write or not. That's so embarrassing. Okay, create ready to publish books. This is right. And we're gonna, I think what we'll do is we'll do 1, 2, 3 formats. Output formats are PDF, doc. Let me see real quick. So we have format, a PDF, doc. What else? EPUB, Mobi, HTML. For writers, by writers. Let's see, output formats, PDF, doc, EPUB, Mobi, HTML, and then what are some other things? Okay, and for this, we're going to be copying off of what like KPF or Kindle Create uses. All right. And one of our long-term, and I know these icons will need to change, one of our long-term goals is to support selling books on this platform. But that's not what we're going to provide immediately. But I think it'd be awesome if we, if you write a book and you want to use our system, you could. And I've had this discussion with people who've come here before that, yes, this is duplicating some of the pieces of LeanPub, but there's actually a number of competitors to LeanPub. We're another one, and I've used a bunch of them. I think they're awesome. I want to make my own, and I think the world of the LeanPub people, but I think there's enough room for us all. LeanPub is you render your stuff with Markdown, which is their hard fork of Markdown, and it's really neat, but it's also something else that you have to learn, and you can't use it locally. So that's why I wanted to do this. I was gonna do checklists to match. See how here we have this, but I think we'll hold off for now. I do need a footer, so let's see if we can find a footer. Oh no, they don't have footers yet. Oh wait, they do. I thought it said, doesn't it say? Oh, I see. I was seeing here, and I was seeing coming soon. So okay, let's oh, look at that logo clouds. That's neat. Not that we have to do that. So making the world a better place. Wow, it's like a super duper lot of stuff. Let's do this one, and and let's see how it comes out. Boom. Oh, that does look awesome. Okay, I think what I want to do is I'm going to comment out the social nav stuff just because we don't have any of that established. And let's see. And then I'm going to make this dynamic, this date. So Django, I think it's template tag. Now, wow, one of the fun things about doing a lot of single page apps is you forget like all the Django template tags. So this is kind of like coming down memory lane. Here we go. So I can do now why, just like this. Okay. And now that is dynamically generated. Oh, look at this. And then I guess we need to, can't offer jobs yet, so I'm just gonna comment that out. It's gonna be a while, and hopefully never, honestly. I mean, that sounds awful, yes, but accessibility, we're gonna leave that in. Okay, so this is a much better landing page. I mean, I think this is still better, but we're going to iterate over this. So I'm going to commit what I have, and then we're going to get to working on the build process. Let's go to here. I want to actually take a look at images, logo, .png, and so this is it. I think what I want to do is move static images logo.png to static images logos, and then just image dot png. Okay, so even if I'm not using it yet, I do have it. Get the make the landing page. Oh, actually, before I get too much further, what I did want to do is see right now if I go up here and I click this, oh, it does go to this sign-in page, but this is not. I think I'm just gonna still commit it for now because I would like to. So wait, did I get it? Oh yeah, it does work. So let's get that in shape. Wrong place. Presentable. All right. So it is about 2 o'clock my time. I'm going to take about a 5-minute break to a bio break. So I'll be back. Let me just put up a note so that way people know I'm coming back. Actually, I'm going to yeah. Let's see. So create a Google slide. Back. Minutes. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. But what I do want is, all right, so I'll be back in just a few minutes. And I will see you then. So hope you're still around. Bye. All right, so back. Let's do it. All right, first, before I begin, I want to make sure that my feed is still live. So just give me a second while I check that. It's always embarrassing when I discover that, oh, the reason why no one's saying anything is because I dropped off. And it looks like I am good. It looks like I am still online and ready to go. And let's close this. All right. Oops. And since my daughter's asleep, I am having one of these. She has never had soda, and we're really careful to giving her juice. But when she's seen us open, we don't drink much soda, like maybe once a week. When we do open these, she just gets so excited. And so we have to be very careful with cans of all things. It's funny. It's kind of like hot dogs too. When she first saw a hot dog, actually it was no, I think she got a hot dog first. She went crazy, and she'd never seen one before. Maybe she saw it at daycare, the other kids getting it, but to this day, like, she gets excited by hot dogs and corn dogs. And it's just, and we try to give her organic stuff, so it's it's a bit of a challenge to find healthy hot dogs. Yeah, I'm okay with regular Dr. Pepper, but something about Diet Dr. Pepper, not cherry or anything like that, just plain Diet Dr. Pepper, to me it's the best soda in the world. So, and if Dr. Pepper, if you're listening, I would love to do an advertisement for you. I will do it for free. But yes, please buy Diet Dr. Pepper. All right. So speaking of sponsorship, I mean, this isn't sponsorship. This is my own thing. But actually, let me log in really quick. So speaking of sponsorship, so my company is feldroy.com. And we just announced that we are teaching the Django crash course, which I was working on. Yeah, I know, I'm already selling up. I'm definitely selling out. But hey, it's what pays the bills. It's why I can work on stuff, and I can stream, and I get to stream the stuff that I want to do, or that I even have time to stream. So on July 16th and 17th. Oh no, July 16th and 17th. Oh, I have to fix that right now. I'll fix that in a second. We are giving a live instruction of our Django Crash Course book. And this is basically where we all get together in a big Zoom meeting, and I'll do a walkthrough. And if people get stuck, myself and Fabio and Audrey, because she's like, oh, I'll watch Uma during this time. If Uma is able to play on her own for a bit, then Audrey will join in and will help a person get over an obstacle. We're not going to do the work for you, but we will help you beat the obstacle and understand what might have gone wrong. And so it's each day has 2 sessions that are 3 hours long, and we'll have an hour-long break between sessions. Would we love to provide lunch? Yes, we would, but considering this is a remote thing, we can't realistically provide lunch. But I have this crazy idea. If we did one for just in the United States, we could ship people a care package. Does that make sense, or is that kind of weird? I think that's kind of weird. The point is that you get a total of 12 hours of instruction from us. You get the ebook if you already have. If you already have it, we're sending you a discount code in a day or so about it. And you will get membership in our forthcoming online forums when they're activated. We're still trying to figure out which one we want, if we want to use Discourse or Discord. it has to be programmer friendly, and we prefer something that plugs into Zapier. If you want to join, you will need some basic knowledge of Python, the programming language. You need a computer with the permissions to install software. So if you can't install Python, then you can't take the class. Sorry. And of course, you'll need an internet fast enough to attend an online meeting. And the introductory price is just $99. Once we hammer out the rough edges, because this is the first time, we will be the price will be going up, just because this is going to be a lot of work for us to put together on top. So Joey, you can do it. Like, you absolutely can do it. Please do it. You know, you live close to me. We talk. So if you have any challenges, like, let me know. Like, please join. Okay, so let me fix this real quick. I need to get into our Shopify store. One of the things I've thought of doing is having like a shorter discussion points that I post onto my YouTube channel, where I talk about things like, why did we not build out a store using Django? Why are we using Shopify? Because, you know, sometimes people ask us questions like that. And the short answer, of course, is that if we build our own shop and you know, our own e-commerce platform, we would not get to write as much or build Right or Not. We'd be building this other platform for selling e-commerce. So because it's not just about product, because we value our time. Finite Singularity said, because you value your time. So the fun thing, Finite Singularity, is we'll also be doing ones on, like, I get requests where, hey, can you give a talk on best practices for Django and stuff that didn't make it in the book, or dark stories of the Django project building or the Python world. So yeah, DRF. You know, the thing is what I'm more interested in now. I mean, I've done so much DRF, and yet what I'm more intrigued by is using Fast API to be my API service provider. And I had done some preliminary work on another project doing it, and then this guy did and I had done this thing where I'd done Django models and Fast API, and I was thinking, oh, I could really dig in and write about it. And then this guy Stavros Korithakis, I love this name. Just Stavros, if you're ever listening to this, Stavros is like such an awesome name. It's a Greek name. It's awesome. So what he did is he documented how to use Fast API with Django. And for Right or Not, this is probably what I'm going to do. And once I do this I'm considering, you know, maybe teaching a class about it or making an extension for the Django crash course, which is based off of this. Either way. So just Fast API is so much fun, and Fast API can do WebSockets, and it's used by Netflix, it's used by Uber, so it's a tool set that is designed to be used at scale. And the guy behind it, I think his name is Sebastian Ramirez. He's Colombian, but he lives in Germany. I think that's it. He's also a Django fan. So, and you can see that there's a Django-ness to Fast API. That's really, it's like he took the best pieces out of a bunch of different things and he combined it into one. So it's powered by Starlet under the hood that provides its asynchronous foundations. It uses Pydantic for making sure that your types and your models are in order. And because it uses you have to do it with Python 3.7 or 3.8, and because it has all the static typing, which means you have tons of code completion. It's just, I'm so excited by it. And granted, I've not done any complex modeling with Fast API. For me, it's all been relatively simple stuff. But That said, when you do complex stuff with DRF, it gets to be a pain, to be honest. And yeah, so Finite Singularity says, I have a love, lots of hate relationship with DRF. That's me exactly. And that's why Fast API excites me so much, because it's not hostile to Django. Not at all. It's not, for example, for write or not, we're, for this that you see, it'll stay static HTML, but I'm going to need, I need to change who owns the books. Because I need to create a add books button. Okay. In fact, I'll do that right now just because when I go to it. Yeah, so Fast API, Sebastian, if you're hearing this, you already know I'm a fan. But this is just backing it up even more. All right, so my books, let's add a button. Let's see, we are books, and we're going to go to templates. This is just something I've needed to have for a while. And I don't think, do I even have a book detail view? Yeah, I don't have a book detail view. So this right now, this book detail view is really just getting in the way. So I'm going to delete it. Okay. And so you'll notice our book view still works. So let's create a button for creating a new book. We're not going to put it any place fancy for now. Let's see, when I do build the book, okay, so build the book that is actually a form. Perfect. So we're going to go to book.html, book list, and here we'll stick it here. And then I think that we have a URL. There should be a book creation view. This is it. Yep. So it is book update view. Oh, I don't have a book add view. That's really, really funny. Let's create one. All right. So is there a book? There's my books view. That's the list. Chapter API view, book update view, and no, not there. So let's add it. Oops. And I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a fun little cheat. We don't even need to. Oh my goodness, we don't need to. Watch this. So when you create a book create view, you're gonna have to be login required. That's so good. So finite singularity, I believe so. In fact, Audrey and I have a project where we're planning to do just that. And this is an internal project. Fabio doesn't even really know anything about it because it's not in the Feldroy repo. And our plan is to try and convert the DRF setup to be Fast API. And I think it'll go well. This is going to be the third version of the API, so it'll be API v3, and we're going to see how that goes. And I can't really tell you yet how well that's going to go, but so we have self, request, args, quargs. Okay. Yeah, please do. So with that project, we have to update it to Django 3 first, and then we're gonna see what we can do from there. So for here, we do book equals book dot objects dot create, and title equals untitled. Unentitled, like you're entitled you're entitled person, and now you're an untitled person. Oh, okay. It's a silly joke. So creator equals self is request dot user, and then return book dot get update URL. Okay, so this is what it's doing. This is not, first of all, this is not going to be an async view, because the thing is if we did this as an async view, we wouldn't be able to redirect the user to this. The other thing that we're doing is there's no validation. When you create a book, well, eventually when you create a new book, there will eventually be a check saying, hey, do you want to create a book? It's going to add to your subscription. Okay, so we have our login require view, and okay, so we have book create view, and then do we have redirect? Yes, we have redirect. Oh wait, we don't need to care about that. So where I need to go is go to the book list, and then I need to add this to the URLs. And we're going to say create. Oh, and that says build the book. So create new book. And we're going to play around with the formatting a little bit later. So we have create chapter down there. Very simple. I just want to test that this works. So we have CRSF token. We don't have there's no hidden value because we don't have a book yet. And all right, let's, it's really unfortunate that we have this. So I want to see if I can have a little bit more. Actually, let me test it first, and then we'll make it pretty. Ooh, no, we have string object has no get. So here, oh, you know why? Because this is the so this needs to be redirect. And we imported redirect up here. Let's try it again. Oh, look, we have an untitled book. This book now has a title. And if I update it, it's saying it wants a description. So now if I look at my books, then this book now has a title, and I can start adding. Oh, that did not work. So it's not letting me add more chapters. Did that break somewhere? Oh wow, so we have a bug. So let me first fix the formatting for this, because that's kind of embarrassing. Tailwind UI, let's see. Elements, flyout menus, banners, page examples, application shells, wide list. Oh, we should do like this is how we should make books look eventually. Or we can start with this. Oh, that's an avatar group. This is better. Okay, so let's see, where's wide list. So if we look at, so it's closing February 2020, and so this is a list item right there. Awesome. So I'm gonna just if we look at this book list, it's really really kind of mungy. So we're going to now if I pull this out, that looks better for our books. And we're going to eventually switch out and add the icon. But what I can do is put here. Oops, this needs a closing div. So we have our two books. Let's add a title. Well, first we're going to add. So in this actually, good. So it's going to go to our books, and then we can put in our book. Excellent. And then here it says full time. I don't know what we will have for that. Maybe we can add. Let's see if I pull this up. I haven't added too much of the metadata yet, so we'll be metadata data here. Like we could have like whether or not it's live, like whether or not it's published. So we have options here. Published or other flags here, and then this is engineering, metadata here, and then remote, more metadata, word count. Oh, that's what we can do. We can have book.word count. Word count, I think, is it? Okay, good. And yeah, I know I need to fix that. And then I have work count here. I don't know what I want. Other metadata. And so we're having query per each just because of how we wrote that word counting system. And then we should do last updated. Let's see. So we have this is the Django template tag. So where's the now format? So actually it's not that, it's time. I think it's the template tag. But there's a filter. Time. Okay, so it would be, oh, so it's a date filter. Okay, date filter. So let's see what our default is. So it'd be, isn't there a, we can do book.modified date. And then the nice thing about doing short date format is that it means that I haven't been doing any internationalization, but I know that Fabio, his first language is Portuguese, so he'll want to have it in that. And then, oh, that did not work. Did not like my book.modified. Well, that's weird, isn't it? Hold on. Book. I can't remember the name of our. I thought it was modified, so that's why I'm like, why is that? That's what I'm looking up is what is this? Oh, created. I know there's a created it. What? And okay, hold on. What the heck? Books end and start. That's so weird. I thought there was a oh, look at that. Why is I thought that this would be auto filling this information out. Like why if we have this timestamp feature, why is it not working? That is strange. What the heck? Cuz hold on. Something's not right. So, see how book is timestamp model? Time framed. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe. Oh. All right. This is really and I put it in how many oh my god. That is really um so I'm going to blame someone else for this error. Who can I blame? Uh, oh my god, that is so embarrassing. Okay, hi Jukari, thank you for the follow, very much appreciated. If you are, okay, so Finite Singularity says it's his fault. Thank you, that is so appreciated, because I don't know what, what kind of, oh my god. There we go. So you can see it's removing, and I remember it created that. It's like, what? I thought it was created and modified. So, oh, Ezra Gull, thank you for the follow. Very, very appreciated. Oh, I have to run the migration first. So the lesson to be learned is it doesn't matter how long you've been using a programming language, a web framework, how many books you've written about it. We're also yes, finite singularity. That is what I was talking about. Stavros. That is the blog post that I was talking about. That he basically wrote up what I was planning to do, and now we have this awesome thing. So many thanks to you. Right, so we have, I'm doing this. Many thanks to you, Stavros. Like I said, your name is awesome. Sure, I can tell you I am an ex-NASA engineer. In fact, I was planning to do a short video at some point explaining like how I learned Python at NASA and the story of the the Python underground at NASA headquarters. So it's a dramatic story with twists and turns, and but I'm gonna do it as a short video. So it is very mysterious and was very dangerous. I actually got in trouble. Oh yeah, anime flashback coding arc. That'd be awesome. Okay, but the point is with this rather silly mistake that I just and look at that, we can see that I have okay, so now if I do this, whoa, that's what I would rather do is this book.modified. I think this is better than in short format. Okay, so there we go. And the other thing that I can do is I can book.modified, and actually I think it was so it's year, month, date. So book.modify, and that's useful to know for like if you're doing, I mean, I'm sure there's some useful so let me see, template tag, so date. So what I need to do is get the year, and then I think it's capital M. No, it is lowercase m, because that's has a leading 0, and then the days, number of days in a given month, day of the month with leading zeros. So dash t. So, and then time, I'm guessing it wants something similar. Oh, I love I really do like JavaScript. I'm a huge fan of Vue.js. I've tried React, and the times I've tried it, I haven't liked it, but I'm going to give it a try again soon, because we're going to have the React extension for Django Crash Course. So I'm going to use that to like learn modern React. So I'm excited about that. These days, though, I'm really getting into vanilla JavaScript. I think it's really useful. And while we're using Alpine here, we're using a mix of Alpine JS and, of course, vanilla JavaScript. But yeah, I am a huge fan of JavaScript in all of its myriad forms. Let's see, so I need H, and then I need minutes, which is I, and then lowercase s. So his. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, and it'd probably be like, oops, right? Well, I don't think we need any more precision about this. What's nice about this is we can then let people sort. And so if I inspect this, and look at that. So I have a nice clean date. Awesome. That was kind of fun. All right. So I think we can actually get rid of this here. And look at that. So we have, I know this is ugly at the moment, but let's see if we can find a prettier way of doing that. Application shells, not form elements. I'm just trying to think, how would I do that? Action panels. It's not quite it. Navigation. I'm just looking for inspiration. I'm not necessarily going to do this. Well, I'll think of, maybe if I go to the regular Tailwind CS site, and I know they have components. What I'd like to do is use other people's components, and then over time start to migrate off of that. I thought they had like a bunch of like a small number of components. There we go. So they have alerts, buttons, cards, forms, and grids. Let's see what we have. So what I want actually is this, and I'm going to take off the image. But let's just see what we have for forms. I think I'm going to pass on the forms and the flexbox grid. Blah. Okay. All right. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and then this form right here. So I'm going to paste this here, and I'm going to get rid of this. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. And then instead of tags, I'm going to have, we're going to see how this goes. So this should work nicely, right? Okay, so I think something is off. Let's see what I blew up. So we just need space between this block and that block. Not a problem. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in. And then start a new book. Yes, start a new book. Each book each book costs adds $1 to your subscription rate. Are you sure? To your monthly subscription rate. Yep, that's right. We are charging per book. So you pay US. We're going to be specific so people know. There's no ambiguity. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to put, I think I can get away with this. Nope, that is not what I wanted. How about this? Nope, that is not what I wanted. Maybe I could do, I know this is kind of a cheat, but bear with me. Like if I do that's really PY 30. Oh yeah, absolutely. I am loving doing this streaming. I'm just gonna stick in the HR, and then at some point, because I want to get into the build process, that works. And at some point, I'm gonna like improve the interface. Just this kind of bleh. Or you'll click on this, and this will come up as like a modal interface. I'll change it to that. So I'm not gonna worry about it too now. Because really what it should be is click on a book, then this comes up, and then you get a new book, which just happened. The problem that I have right now is, and you can see it's untitled, and my subscription rate will have gone up with this. So Jukari, make sure you subscribe to me. Also, the other thing is, yeah, finite singularity is getting sold on Fast API. I knew you would. So Jukari, getting back to streaming, I don't just stream here. I download my recorded streams, and maybe I should record them, and then so that way there's never any time of it freezing. That probably makes a bit more sense. I'll try recording on Friday, but then I upload them here, and you can see you can see here, I've been learning. This is my live stream test, and I've done more streaming than this, but like those videos, they didn't come out so well, so they're not getting uploaded, and you can see I'm actually upping my game with ooh, that's not good. Where this, see right here how my and I need a haircut. But I'm upping my game with like how I'm streaming, and my goal is, so my secret goal is, if I am lucky, thank you for the subscribe, Joey. If I am lucky, 1% of my subscribers translates to sales. So if I have 238 subscribers, then 2.38 of you will buy my books and courses. And if I can make that work, or sign up for Right or Not, if if that's what I'm working with, then like maybe if I got like 100,000 subscribers, wouldn't be bad. 1 million would be great. But here I am at 238 subscribers on YouTube. So yeah. But anyway, I'm learning. Like, one of the things I just spotted is, don't put any text in the lower right corner of a thumbnail on yeah. Okay, so what should I do when I hit 1,000 subscribers? Like, Give me ideas. Oops. All right. So, while people are thinking about that, what I want to do now is figure out why when I create a chapter, show profile is not defined. Oh, that's something I wanted to get rid of. That was me being fancy. Yeah. I think so. This was this idea I had where every page we grab. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Well, we I sent out we sent out an email blast this morning, and I don't play video games. I don't have time for it. I wish I did, but man, it's just kind of hard to get that time in right now. So here, what I should do is, with this, so here show profile is, like I should be doing the show profile here rather than, like at this level is setting, show profile equals false. So I'm going to do that real quick. Like this is Alpine JS if you don't know. So X, where is it? It's X data. So it's X data is page data. And then, but the way I'm using it is wrong. It's kind of naive. Whoa. Oh my God. I had turned up the volume on my laptop so I didn't miss streams, but, thank you. Thank you for subscribing, Jukari. Much appreciated. Yeah. And oh my God, other people. Subharmonicus followed me. Ezra followed me. Jukari followed, and I didn't mention anything like that. So about that. So thank you, all of you, for following me. Yeah. Definitely makes my day when I get those follows. All right, so I want to get rid of this because, like I was saying, this is kind of a naive approach where everything on the page is its own element, because that's not, the problem is like that's not necessarily true, and also it makes it impossible to have separate elements rendered out by Alpine JS on the same page. And if that sounds kind of complicated, it is. Just bear with me that you should not do this. You should not define, at least Danny, I am not going to do this again. I'm not going to define X data on here again, because you will, it makes everything more fragile because everything is relying on the same data pattern, and that's probably not a good idea. So let's, I'm going to look for places where I have page data, and we'll just, yeah, this is something that has to be fixed now. So if you'll just bear with me, I even create a page data block in base.html, and this is a mistake. So let's fix it. Let me just grab this. All right, so let's see. So if I have, I think it would be, if I look at the page data places, this is on my chapter update view and my book update view. So all I have to do is look for those templates and find out what I'm doing. So book form is where those are going to be. And am I even using it? I don't think I am. I think I created this Mungie system that doesn't actually do anything. I know this doesn't use, let's check chapter form. I don't, because I'm using, this is vanilla JavaScript instead of Alpine. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna comment it out. How about that? I'll comment these out. And then, okay, and now if I create a chapter, it doesn't like me. Let me refresh. Let me try a different book. So for whatever reason, it is not, the chapter form is not liking that. And let's see. So this is sends the data. Let's see what happens. So where do I define create chapter? Oh, it's in the nav, the book nav, which is the base dashboard. That's not well named. Actually, it is. It is. I shouldn't say that. So the question is am I using it here? And let's see. Title object. Pretty sure that. So here's chapter. Barata Toxica, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. Okay, so that is so here we create the chapter. Oh, okay, so see how I have this X on click? Oops, that is Alpine JS. And that might be where I'm setting the title. So what I'll do is, and I have another one here, so I have, because this one is for, yeah, so one is for, so here is where I should be doing X data and then put in something. Let's see what happens if I just do this. There we go. So now we have it. Just because I passed in this, that makes this whole div that is, I'll see if I can show you. So this template is basically one big div. This is the side nav right here that I'm looking at. And by making it text data, that turns it into an Alpine JS object. Alpine JS is, here, I'll send you a link to it. Think of Alpine JS as Vue.js that is just as simplified as can be. It is just the DOM. Actually, it doesn't rewrite the DOM. It's like Vue.js without the whole life cycle and the ecosystem and stuff like that. And I love that. Like, don't get me wrong, Evan Yu is awesome, and I really like what Vue does, but it can be heavyweight, especially if you're doing a vanilla JS, more closer to vanilla JS project. So we now have everything everything should be working now. And so just let me ask a question real quick. Where I am, there is like loud construction outside, and my microphone should be preventing you from hearing that. I just want to make sure that is the case. Let me know if it isn't, and I can figure something out. Sounds great. Excellent. Okay, so good. Okay, so let's oh wait, I'm running. So I'm running okay, so I have I was running both I was running this as with manage.py and this with UV corn, so kind of funny that I did that. Let's commit my changes real quick. Yeah. Because I just realized I haven't committed in a while. And yes, I should break this out into smaller commits. Let's just pretend that that's what I'm doing. Various fixes and template cleanup. Okay. So, okay, so this is good. We're in a much better place now. Um, my books is, yeah, my library purchase books. We have the dashboard, which is meaningless. So I schedule my streams at, going forward, because it just changed. I'm scheduling my streams for my official streams from on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 2 p.m. Pacific to 6 p.m. Pacific. That is 9 p.m. UTC to 1 a.m. UTC. I will also be streaming whenever I need to figure out something or I have some time to spare and it's not like personal or things where we might be dealing with customers or they've asked us to keep things between us. For me, streaming is a very interesting productivity hack. I'm not checking social media and I am staying focused on the screen. Of course, the discussion that I'm having with people who are making comments or the fact that I feel compelled to give a running commentary on what I'm doing slows me down a little bit. But I have found in general my productivity has been going up and up. And I'm gathering that, and I'm finding that as I stream more and get more comfortable with it, I am able to solve harder and harder problems while I'm streaming because I do get jittery and anxious. So sometimes, you know, so sometimes with harder problems, I will not want to give a running commentary because I'm trying to figure things out in my head. And I think faster, like most people, I think faster than I talk. So, yeah, so that's it. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific to 6 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, Joey, I hear you. I miss going into the gym and rolling with people. Joey, that's Matharoni. Him and I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu together. He's higher ranked than me, so he has won every time. But yeah, it's gonna be a long time, I think, before we do that because both him and I can't risk family members. Okay, so I just realized this value is incorrect. So let's make that actually true. We're gonna go to, if we go to, so here's the thing. If I go to, where do I define the landing page? The landing page is books core. So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I just figured out what I'm going to do. Rather than look at a view, I'm going to modify the user model to support this. So I'll show you a trick so you don't have to do a bunch of view changes. Users, views. So here's the user. Oh, that's the user detail view. So def words, total words, or word count. No. So Ezra Gull is asking, is there a specific reason why the problem? Well, it's a problem makes you anxious. Things that are more complex or challenging, it's not the deadlines. I mean, of course, deadlines give you a little bit of anxiety. It's more that I don't know, when I'm facing something hard in the stream, I'm like, oh, maybe I should go and do it myself. It's just that I'm still getting comfortable with streaming, that this is relatively new to me. I've been doing it for what, a month and a half? It's just only recently I've been uploading them to YouTube. So, just being able to relax and be in the zone when I'm trying to figure out a hard problem is challenging, and especially since I'm trying to give a running commentary, because I think for viewers it's more compelling to see me talk things through than to just write out the answers, which is how I tend to work. And I'm not a good pair programmer for, this is part of the reason, because people are like, oh, you're not saying anything. It's like, well, because I'm trying to focus. So yeah, I'm trying to change a pattern. So one of the side effects of this is maybe I'll be a better pair programmer, which would probably make my wife a lot happier. I think that we'll just make this a property for now. And then we have user.bookset.all. So the challenge here is that right now, if I look at the book model, and I'll fix this later, but it is an issue. If I look at the book model, the word count is actually, where is it? The word count is actually a query. And so this is a sort of thing that can really, I think this is the wrong way to do it, what I was thinking of doing, because yeah, I think the better approach is to do like an aggregate with a sum, because if I'm gonna loop through the books, it's, if you know, why do multiple queries when you can do one, right? So we're gonna do property, and that's oops. So someone just Finite Singularity, thank you for the subscribe. Woohoo! Oh yeah, I do. Skyforce, that's a great idea. Let me figure out first how to do subscribes, and then, or do emotes. But that is a great, oh my god, I don't, because I've been wondering, it's like, you know, hey, I know people do stuff with this, I just don't know. Is it some, yeah. Yep. Fabio is so Ezra Gull, you're in Brazil. Where are you in Brazil? So we can do, and let's do from hold on, we're gonna do from right or not dot chapters dot models import chapter, and then actually I know a faster way to figure this out, so I'm gonna go into the shell. So first we want to get our user, so user equals book dot objects, or user dot objects dot get username equals Daniel. Oh, so Ezregal, you're in Bahia. Wow. That's famous in capoeira circles. I did capoeira for I guess 7 years or so. 8, no, hold on, let me do the math. About 8 years off and on, but just injury after injury just made it hard. Joey's really good at, that's Matharoni. He's good at capoeira, but he started young. I started way too old. Okay, so now that we have this, we can do chapter dot objects dot filter, and then we're gonna do we have book creator equals user. This should be it. There we go. So this is all the chapters that I have. So now I can do and then the question is from here, if I look at some, okay, yeah, so it has, so I can just do word count sum. Perfect. Okay, I see what I need to do. Let me, so we're gonna do, so we have from here, we're gonna do chapter, so we're gonna do result equals chapter dot objects dot filter book creator equals self, and then we're gonna do aggregate, and within that we're gonna do sum. Oh no, hold on. Word count equals sum, and then in parentheses word count, and then we can return the result of that. And so based off of this, so that gives us a nice fast query for the front end. Awesome. So let's and now in our where's our base.html page? Oh, we can get rid of this, I think. Okay, and then where is home dashboard? That's it. So now I can, if I do request.user, okay. I thought didn't I make a change? Oh, haha. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. It's really, really appreciated. And you know, take care, and we'll see you soon. Okay, look at that. I have 267 words written. If I change that, let's say I add a chapter, blah. Okay, and now if I refresh, it should say 270. Yes! So, awesome. We have our word count on the dashboard. We don't have books sold. Total books is okay. Hold on. Let's so again, we're gonna add a new method to the user. Let's see. Property is return. We can do this really easily. This would be user self dot book set dot count, right? Oh, def book count. And what we're actually going to change this up because I have another idea for a property that's kind of fun. Chapter count. That's right. We are going to grab all of the chapters for a particular user. Just giving ourselves real metrics to use is, I think, so now we have total chapters, user.chapter count, and I have some other ideas for stuff. So for example, once we get like cover images in. Hey, Crazy Vortex, how you doing? Oh no. So all right, so where do we go wrong? Let's look here. So self.bookset, isn't there a book set attached to this? So okay, so book creator. There we go. I got it. Okay. So what am I working on? I am working on a application called Right or Not, which here I'll we just created the that's not good. That is not good at all. Okay, so my landing page is not working. I have to figure out what I did. Wow, that's unfortunate. Wow, that is really kind of all right, well, and it's still working. Okay, so Write or Not is basically a tool for writers and publishers to create books. I'm not just talking, so it's books, it's chapters, it has you write stuff in Markdown and then it renders stuff out in PDFs, EPUB, MOBI, Word documents, and as well as HTML, and also provide a platform to sell these books. So that's what it is. And since I have, yeah, it's definitely an image creating the error. So, well, that isn't going anywhere. So let's see where we're getting this wrong. So, it's outside the base component. Where the heck? So that's static images, and that's I don't think that should be a problem. I'm gonna just change this so my text editor isn't so rude to me. I've never actually, in all my years of Django, actually I have seen suspicious images, logos. Is it located outside the path component of, oh, would it be, let's see. So I go to the landing page, and is it because I am hitting the root? That's it. So here's the landing page. What did I do at NASA? That is a really good question. I was there from 2005 to 2010, and I did a mix of various backend work interacting with like a legacy X500 system, Active Directories. God, hold on. It's been like 10 years since I worked there. I got into Python there, and Django for that matter. There's a whole bunch for the first few years. There was a lot of glue kind of backend applications that I built to glue different other applications together. One of my favorite things that I did was I created this. So there, for at NASA headquarters, there was 150 applications that interacted with each other, and there wasn't a good map of that. And they would try to create one, and they'd do it in Visio, and so it was all manual. And what I did is I wrote something that used some automation to figure out the relationships between applications, and there's also a lot of detective work. And then it would use GraphViz to, and everyone knows what GraphViz is, right? To render out this pretty graph. And let me see if I can. I love GraphViz, and there's now a JavaScript implementation, and you can do it on Observable HQ. Yeah, I'll show you some GraphViz in action. Oh, hold on. I need to hit my 1Password to show you. This isn't that graphical application. I actually still have the files. Hold on. Trying to get to my fingerprint. Okay, so observable. Whoa, where's? Huh. Not sure why I can't sign in. Where my? Huh. I had this awesome thing. So that's some of the stuff I did. I also Crazy Vortex. If you do Django at all, this is a library that I started there. Oops. Let's go. So Django Crispy Forms. You do Flask. So Django Crispy Forms was actually started at NASA because we had a requirement to do accessibility forms. Crazy Vortex. if you're doing Flask, I highly suggest you start looking at Fast API. We had this conversation not too long ago. Here, I'll send you to the link, and then you might be able to convince everyone you're working with to switch also. Yes, I did. I started Crispy Forms. That's me, and that's not Audrey. I mean, that's one of those things I came up with my own. All right, so finite singularity asks, what made us decide to write the book? I just talked about this on the Django chat podcast, but basically in 2012, when we were just doing consulting, we kept getting all these rescue projects, and they were miserable, and we were fighting with other people who really had, I guess they had better sales skills than we did, but they didn't know anything about how to build applications. And so then when they would screw up and there would be problems, and sometimes they just walk away because they were in a hole, we'd get these rescue projects, and they're miserable, and the developer was unhappy and had left or didn't want to help out at all, and then the person who spent the money on it was stuck because they spent all their money. They didn't have much to give us, and it kept happening again and again, and we were getting, it was financially hurting us. And after one more time of getting almost a rescue project, and then getting turned, not even a rescue project, as a new project, but then losing it to someone who we had done, I think we'd done rescue projects on. It's been 8 years, so my memory isn't as good as it was. I got really frustrated, and I was like, people are just building applications poorly. There's all this tribal knowledge with Django that's not written down. Like a lot of what people know of how to build Django apps now, I mean, the only advice was like, hey, do small apps, right? And so but I had worked with Jacob Kaplan-Moss and Frank Wiles and other, and I'd had sat next to them and worked with them professionally. So I knew all these like tricks and techniques, and also the Eldarian people back when they were like super strong Django players. And so I was like, I don't want to, I'm so tired of this. I'm just going to start writing people how to do it and telling people how to do it. And so I started writing out of anger, and I kept getting stuck. And it was originally going to be called Real World Django. And in fact, if you go to, I think it's Real World Django.com, yeah, it redirects to the Django crash course, because we bought that domain, and that's what it was originally be called. And I kept asking Audrey for help, and finally I said, can you, because I get stuck or I didn't know the answer to things, and she would figure it out or help me figure it out. And I was like, why don't you just be a co-author? And she said, well, the problem is you're so angry. I don't want to be associated with that. And I was like, well, maybe I can be less angry. And so then she's like, all right, well, we need to have a happy topic of discussion in the books. So after a bit of brainstorming with topics and titles, we came up with Two Scoops of Django and ice cream, and that was 2012. And yeah, so that's the story. But yeah, here's the book, the a Django crash course, and we even have our live online training, which I should mention. Oh, I need to update this product description. Hold on. Because you see how it says July 16th and 17th? Oh, I can't believe I did that. But I need to. Actually, when we were writing the book and we get stuck or frustrated, we were going and eating a lot of ice cream, and it was a fun time. We would like get in the car and drive and get ice cream nearby, and we yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. And we were kind of on fire, and everything about the book was new. So one of the things that people don't understand about Two Scoops of Django, they're like, oh, can you update it for, can you do an update for each version of Django, right? So it would be 1.11, 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 3.2, 3.0, 3.1, 3.2. And the challenge of Two Scoops of Django is that each version is each time we update it, it's as much, if not more work than when we originally wrote it, because everything has to be double checked and triple checked, and it's exhausting. And yeah, it's updating Two Scoops of Django is because it's not just a tutorial where we're just like, okay, we'll run through it again, and we'll run through it again, we'll update the version numbers, done. No, every library has to be validated, and like the security chapter is an unbelievable amount of work. Yeah, so anyway, I don't mean to rant. I do love working on it. Oh, and I need to fix something else with this really quick. Hold on. I have to do this over here because there's some proprietary information on our Shopify page so that I can't show. See where it says July 16th and 17? Well, that would explain why okay, and then I'm also going to check. Well, that's updating. That's updating. I'm going to check the this right here and make sure, because this is our blog. There we go. Found it again. What was I thinking? And what was everybody else in the company thinking when they didn't well, the thing is there is reliability over versions of Django. I mean, Django has great backwards compatibility. There are glitches every once in a while. I do have issues with how version names are done or version numbers are done in Django. Having the LTS versions not be 3.0 but 3.2 is hard. So Ezra Girl asks, am I interested in making a video course with a platform like Udemy or Coursera? No. This course that I'm doing is live. It is online. It will be done with Zoom. So if you take it and if you have a question, you can ask me that question right then, and I can answer it for you. I like that tight feedback cycle. With Udemy or Coursera, I'm going to have to make a whole bunch of these little videos, and then if you have feedback, you have to try to get a hold of me. And I'm able to put aside 2 days to really focus on this. I don't have time to help in general everybody for long ongoing periods of time in a forum. The other issue is updating it. I already have to update. I'm also already part of the team that updates Two Scoops of Django and Django Crash Course, and then any number of applications. And I can do that in code or in writing, and that's work. It's not always fun, but I can do it. Updating videos. Updating, a whole bunch of 3-minute videos for the latest version of Django or Python is just, I don't have the temperament for it. So that's why live classes, that's what I'm going to do. Crazy Vortex asks, what do we do now other than books and Twitch? Right now, I upload these Twitch things to YouTube. Besides that, we have some small consulting projects that we're doing. And The other thing is that Right or Not that I'm building right here is something that I am hoping to sell and make income off of. We'll see. I mean, there is competition in the field, but often they get like funding and and they have high costs. They have salespeople and stuff like that. And my thought is, I know the author community, I know the fiction writing community, I know the tech writing community. I know where they hang out. I know where the discussions are had. I sometimes get asked questions like, "Hey, what's the best way to write a book?" Actually, it's not sometimes. I get asked that a lot. And so this is a platform that I actually could use. And so it gives me, so my hope is that other authors will do it. And for the way the subscription is going to work is you pay for usage. Yeah, Ezra Gull, I agree. I'm at the moment now where I'm just filling up the classes because I'm doing copy paste with the design. All right, so so it looks like we have this. So I have a question for you. I was working on, so what time is it? It is 5:24. I've got 36 minutes left where I absolutely can stream, because that's when the time I have left. I can continue working on building the book. Actually, that would be really good to do because right now the book build works. So you can see here something happened over there. Oh, gave the 302 not found. That's just the direction. And then where that is rendering is, what exactly is building the book doing? I don't recall. Let's look that up. So I think, because I was gonna say Kua Hotlim, I may upload. There are significant problems with audio, and because my internet connection was super flaky, there's enormous lag. I can do that, but I think before I upload those, I want to get enough body in that I can bury those, and so that way if you really want to see some of the early stuff, and I've put those, most of those early ones, as highlights on Twitch. That way if you really want to dig through bad audio and lots of lag with stuttering and terrible frame rate and sometimes just dropping off, you can do that, but it's not gonna hurt my still baby YouTube channel. So I hope that makes sense. The other thing that I might do is, once we get Right or Not off the ground, is build another project from scratch and put that in my Codecasts, or maybe create a separate category like project day 1, day 2, day 3. And so I just need to figure out something that would have meaning for me, because if I build to me, this is Right or Not, even though it's simple in a lot of ways, is not a toy for me. It's a tool I've been wanting to have for years, and we have earlier versions that are running. So I'll need to think of a non-toy project that I can build that I'm interested in doing, and then in which case maybe that way people aren't coming midstream like they will with Right or Not. Okay, so I think what I might do on, I'm just gonna look for, oh, hold on, I had this bug that I fixed. So git status, git diff, template, landing page enhancements, and cleanup. So I hope that answered your question, Kua Hutlam. Yeah, in fact, if you look at my Twitch history, you'll notice that there's a period where I didn't stream, like about a 2-week period. Joey, who's on here, and maybe Fabio and a few others might know what I'm talking about. I didn't stream because my internet, we realized that our internet was so bad, and it turns out raccoons were chewing on the wires, and we didn't have a fast connection. So yeah. All right. Let me think. Where was I? So I wanted to, this is our build book function that I'm doing. And right now it is, so we're actually doing an output in Markdown as book.html. That's kind of lame, isn't it? I think I did that. Yeah, I think I did this. If I go to, where's the, hold on. So there's book.html. I'm going to open it. No, this is a commercial project. If it goes, I mean, because I'm going to sell like usage of it, we're going to have a full API, and maybe I won't make any money. Maybe I'll make a lot. We'll see, because other authors could use it. That's why I'm saying I mean, the idea of building a non-toy project that I could open source and still have it be meaningful is important to me. But as much as I'd like to open source right or not, if it can pay my bills, that's great. And I've learned, unfortunately, the hard way that unless you're in the 1%, or the lucky 0.0001%, you're not going to make that much money doing open source. And I know in theory that's changing, but hey, I know with Cookie Cutter, lots of big companies use it, and we make, I think we make like $30 a month from Cookie Cutter and related components. So this is the rendered thing. I know it's just HTML and it's kind of simple, but so how do you make money with open source? You make it through donations. So for example, if you go to pydanny and hold on, see if I can. How do you sponsor? Hold on, I'm gonna find it for you. So you go to, if you went to my GitHub repo and you click sponsor, you go to sponsors pydanny, and I have 2 sponsors. I think I'm making $10 a month on GitHub. Let's see. I'll just, okay, so I'm up to $20 a month on GitHub. Wow. So I mean, that's amazing. That I'm being sarcastic. I mean, considering how many people use stuff I've written, I do not make much money. Now, Evan Yu, who's the founder of Vue.js, he makes like $20,000 a month doing open source. And there's this other guy who's the guy behind Alpine JS. I think he's making like $14,000 a month. So it's doable, but right now I'm not sure I can take the risk with having it being in a pandemic, and I have a little girl to think about. So we have Patreon. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it for you. And on Patreon, we're making $15. So right now we're making $35 a month with open source. If that goes up substantially, I'll consider open sourcing, right or not. But yeah, right now sorry. Exactly. Right or Not is going to be a monthly subscription. Right now, I'm thinking it's going to cost you $1 per book, and then each time you build the book, there will be a cost for it. And if we also add in the part where you can sell books using our platform, then we take a small percentage off of that too. And one of the things I want to do. So with our courses and books, we don't race to the bottom, but with a book publishing platform, that's a different model. There are, millions of people who are writing books. If I can get away with charging an author like $3 a month and 100,000 people try it, that's $300,000 a month. So I'm more than happy for Right or Not to keep the pricing really low. And okay, so I think what I want to do is so we have our book build system, and it's actually called by async Django view, and what we need to do is we actually, I need to look at the build model again. It's been a week. So when you save, it logs. That's right. That's the neat thing that it does. Is it, or does it? Okay. So I think what I want to do is create a method called def set status, and then self status, and then message. Okay. Yes, Right or Not, it is our domain. I don't know if we didn't do the copyright for that yet. I don't know. Maybe we did. We did it like several years. We set it up several years ago, so I can't honestly tell you what we did there. Me. So we're in builds. Where is users? A chapter. Oh, I lost my Okay, so here compile the books in progress. So here we're saving it. I think set status. Okay. Else, let's not do a set status function because it's easy to forget what that is. And then we're gonna do self.log.append, and then we're gonna put in self.status self.status by self.builder at created, and then oh, I think we do need to have that. Hold on. Set we have log, but I want to have a add to log. It's not just and then so no, because we want to append. All right, I'm just thinking about how to do this. So self.log.append, and then we're gonna do message. So keep it really simple, and then self.save. Okay, so we have, now if we go back to the view, we go to actually this is still wrong. This is like overcome. So I'm like starting to like get a little bit too fancy for my own good. So build.log.append self.status we're gonna shorten this. Begun compiling. Begin. There we go. And then we can do build.save. Yeah, I figured you'd think it's a lot. I mean, Rails and it's funny, they evolved at at very similar times, and there certainly is overlap. Compiling, complete. And then actually, let's keep the saving document. And then actually, this would be, so here's the end of the compiling, and then we do begin rendering, complete. Okay. And then yeah. I have contributed some to Django. It's been years. The Django contribution process is so painful that I have found other ways to contribute to the ecosystem. The whole, mix of they have both the track-based issue system, and then then you have to also handle things in PRs, and I don't know, it's just more work than it's worth. So I'd rather also do my own thing, which I like. So yeah. Okay, so let's see how I want to see how that build process, because we just improved the build process. So whoa, let's try that again. Oh, that's right, we have a bug there. That's one to figure out next time. Or okay, so I'm gonna blow all these away. Right, and now let's build a book again. Okay, that's the build book. Big, whoa, self, oh, there. And the reason why we're tracking all this stuff for individual builds is we're actually going to be charging for builds. Oh, is that, huh? Let me see. Oh yeah, that's kind of creepy when you look at it in a cool way. Well, I think I will work on. Okay, so let's try this again. Book object has no attribute status. What? Yes, it does. So here's status, and hold on. So line 37, that's right here. Yes, absolutely does a book have a status. Doesn't it? I mean, look at this. Here is the status field. So we're getting the book object. Hold on. Let me. Oh, you know what? Oops. I put in the wrong. There we go. So in progress, and then all these should be build. And also the other thing I just realized is that these are not proper date stamps. So I actually will have to refactor that. How do I move to the next book so fast? So just lots of practice. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna have to make this a little bit easier to read. So I'm using a mouse. I think that's what I'm doing. I can also, there's neat hotkeys I can do like this, and that is the Alt plus arrow keys. If I do the command or the Apple key, I can like go up and down a line. So there's some neat things that you can do to speed up how fast you move. So I'm using build.modify, but that's not a good date timestamp. Let's see, what is from date time import date time dot now. Yeah, that's what I should probably be doing for this. Let's try that out. Okay, so that would be now. So I'm gonna say something that's just wrong. That like, so F strings in Python are pretty nice. You know what's nicer is JavaScript literals. So go ahead, bash on me, but it's true. JavaScript literals are it's just so much easier, and they're multi-line by default, and yeah, but it's okay. I mean, F strings are great. It's just all right. Okay, so let's try this again. What? From date time import date time. All right, that's right, you can't do this. I have to find all the nows again. That's me mousing. Okay, so now if we look, and we look at a build, And we can see this, which is really not useful. Let me see if I can modify that so it's actually more useful for us. Object dot duration. So def fancy log self obj return obj Okay, now let's get a little bit fancier. So how do I make my like, for example, are you talking this one or this one or this one? This is Tailwind UI. It's Tailwind CSS plus Tailwind UI. So it lets me without too much work get pretty results. Oh, this one? Yeah, this is Tailwind UI. Let's see if I can find it. So Tailwind UI, the people behind Tailwind CSS sell it, and it's under page sections. And this is literally me adding content to this, and it looks great. I'm so happy with this. I just need to fill this links out, and then on Friday I want to add in billing, and so that way if you want to try it out, yeah. After that, then you can buy $1. So the minimum subscription is going to be $1, so that's $1 that you always have to have at least $1. So I'll have to code that in. But that's my plan, is to is for Right or Not, is to access it you know, to that you can get away with a $1 subscription if you want. So and then dot join, and I think I can do. I don't think this is gonna do any good, honestly. Tailwind UI here. Give me a second. I'll post the link. So this is the free thing, and you can do tons and tons with it. It is super popular right now. It's the hipster front end framework, but even though it's hipster, it's really good. It's just CSS. There's no JavaScript. And then Tailwind UI is basically the creators of Tailwind CSS. They're creating UI components. So instead of you having to code it up yourself, you can just use what they have to make things work. So why is this hanging? Hold on. Oh. But look at that. There it is. The only thing is that this should be title. So let me modify that. Let me think. So here's the problem. The problem is these I'm gonna change to be uppercase, just so they're very visible, which may prompt a migration, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm planning to I think on Friday I will be focusing on adding billing to this and getting it ready. So for me, I so much prefer Tailwind CSS over Bootstrap, but everybody has their own preferences of what they like to work with. I like Tailwind because it's just CSS, and I like the naming structure better. What I really like, but is not really usable anymore, is semantic UI. This is like got the best. Well, actually, it's been forked because the base library is no longer managed for Semantic UI. This is awesome. This is the forked version of semantic UI. Just like this is how you define classes. UI 3 buttons. That's it. It's so clear. I don't have to remember like special keys, and there's like tons and tons of examples. The problem is jQuery is a hard requirement, and getting jQuery out is going to be a huge amount of work. So the library is kind of, I mean, it's the library is going to do what the library is going to do without people using it. I mean, it's going to fade. It's going to be around. Semantic probably has some financial support, but that's, you know, that's just the way of things. And it'd be great if someone did something similar. Bulma is somewhat similar in it, but it's just, gosh, Semantic or Semantic UI is such a beautiful library. So there's nothing wrong with jQuery. I have a soft spot for jQuery. The issue though is that a lot of what jQuery provided us is now provided in regular JavaScript. That I can replicate most of what I'm doing with jQuery by using vanilla JavaScript commands that have been added since jQuery came around. And jQuery has been so important to the JavaScript world, but like for example, you can't really use it inside of React or Vue.js. Yeah, I mean, there are times where there are things that jQuery gives you that are easy. Like, I'll give you an example. If you go like dollars, you know, the classic $, you know, and then you look for an ID, right? That's awesome that it gives you that. Wait, do I have jQuery installed? How the heck do I have jQuery? Oh, I guess maybe it's part of Django debug toolbar. On the flip side, like document.get element by ID, right? So that's a long statement. What I could do is I could do like const no, I'm not going to do that because that's going to break everything. I could do const x this, and then I could call elements by with document by get element ID. Hold on, let me see if that is where's a something with an ID that I can use. Do I have anything with IDs in here? Well, that's not going to stay what it is. Okay, so I have main menu. Let's see if I can grab the main menu from the... Okay, so I have X, which is... So I can do main menu. Oops. I can type. Oh, and it didn't like that. What? I don't get that. Oh, Chrome Dev comes with it. So there's nothing wrong with jQuery. It's just that if I can avoid one more JavaScript dependency, that will accelerate the performance of this. That if I can do light vanilla JavaScript and keep, let's say if I can keep my JavaScript load down below 20K, Write or Not will just run faster. Just because it's cool. So Crazy Vortex says, why am I using const for stuff like that? Maybe it would have worked if I wasn't trying to use that. Oops. How do I? There we go. So if I do, maybe the answer is do var equals document get element by ID. Oh, so it's still there. Let me refresh. Okay, so maybe var is what I needed. And then main menu. Oh, it didn't like that at all. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. But so there's no reason for it. I probably shouldn't. Okay, I'll try it with X. I mean, I'm probably maybe let's just see. So it is main menu. Anyway. I don't know why it's not working. Hold on. I can figure this out. Document. Maybe you can't copy this command over. I haven't actually tried that. Normally I just use code completion. Main menu. Oh, okay. So I guess if I do x equals document dot get element by ID, and then if I try to use it, okay, interesting. Well, I just learned something about JavaScript today. That's what's kind of fun about going and hacking away. So, anyway, so I'm gonna create a migration for this just so the builds are a little bit easier to read. And I'm gonna run another build. Oops, I didn't mean to start a new book. Hold on. I'm going back to Two Scoops of Django. I'm gonna build the book. Okay, so now if I go, and yeah, I guess I need to create a builds interface. Look at that. That's so much better. You can see it, and there's ways I can have this result display a little bit prettier just by parsing out the string for seeing in the log. But it is now 5:59, and unfortunately, as much fun as this is, I do need to go. If you haven't, I do need to say the goodbye stuff. So if you haven't done so yet, please follow or subscribe, like the video, and all that stuff. And then also don't forget that we are doing online Django instruction on July 16th and 17th of this month. This is 2020. And it's an introductory price because we're just doing it. And it's going to be live and online. That means that it's Zoom. So if you have a question, you just can say, hey, Daniel, how do I, this isn't working, or there'll be other members of Feldroy team there. So you can ask for help and advice, and it'll be awesome. It'll be 2 days of really focused learning. And so that's it. And on Friday, that's on the 3rd, I plan to, I'll work on billing, adding the billing system. So that way we can start having people enroll in Right or Not and trying it out. And not that there's really anything there, but least you can do is financially support the project if you're an author or just curious. So anyway, that's it. Have a great rest of the day, or if you're just starting your day because you're in a different part of the world, it was great having you here, and see you later. Bye.